You've tuned into Heroes Wanted. I am your host, Joe Prim. In this episode, I have a great conversation with my new friend, Nico, as he talks about his life and growing up and coming to the United States, learning about leadership and learning about what it means to be a coach. Great conversation. I'm really excited to share it with you. But before we jump into that, there's something that's been on my mind lately, and it kind of ties in with what this conversation is with Nico, but I'm going to lay this out as fast and as hard and as honest and as brutally truthful as I can to you guys. For years now, doing podcasts and writing books and all these things that I have done, I have urged you guys to build brotherhood, to build relationships, that is not a luxury, that is a necessity in your life. I've also tried for years and utterly failed to bring you guys into my circle, whether it was on Patreon or whether it was on Locals or whether it was on Instagram, to a lesser extent, but try to pull you guys into a circle that was a little less chaotic than the big social media platforms. Well, as I evolve and as I am trying to reach out more and trying to go where you guys are, since I couldn't make you come where I am, if I want to help men, if I want to steer men in a different direction, if I want to encourage men and challenge men in a bold way, even though I hate it, even though I don't really like it, decided to embark on a bold move for me into Facebook. And what I have discovered through jumping into Facebook and joining some men's groups, Christian men's groups, and just dads groups, and all different sorts of groups on there, is one thing has struck me that I completely missed out on and never would have known had I not dove back into Facebook after probably the first couple months that Facebook was in existence. And that is this, guys. There are so many men, so many fathers, so many guys out there that are hurting and looking for answers. And they lack anybody of any substance in their life. They have nobody in their life that they can lean on, that they can count on, that knows them, that they can divulge what is going on in their life, where they can receive some feedback, some honest feedback from somebody that has a dog in the fight. And they go onto Facebook and they type out in the best way that they can, right? And we know, and I even wrote a book, and I know that I cannot convey the same message on typing something out, even after going back edit after edit after edit after edit. I cannot convey the same message that I can by speaking to somebody. I cannot convey the frustration. I cannot convey the energy. I cannot convey the anger on paper or on typing a message that I can if somebody's listening to me. And I see these guys pouring out their guts, pouring out, hoping that they will get some sort of answer, some sort of response, something that they can hang their hat on, something that will spur them to move into a different direction, or to figure out the problem, or to figure out the magic trick or the hack or something to resolve the issue that they're going through. Now, some guys are on there and they want the pat on the back, and that's good, and some guys are on there and they're giving advice, and that's pretty cool. But the majority of guys on there are there because they're hurting. And I cannot help but feel bad for these guys because, number one, when you are struggling, when you are going through difficulties, when you are going through a challenge in your life, you do not need advice from somebody else. You almost always know what you need to do and where you should go, what doors you need to open. You know what you need to do. And you need somebody that will listen to what you have to say, that will hear you out, that knows who you are, knows how you operate, knows that this is not a normal thing that you're continually going through, or knows that it is and can help point that out to you. But you need somebody that knows you and will listen to you. But they go on there, share, spill their guts, and what they get back, if they're lucky, is maybe some okay advice, because it's advice from somebody that doesn't know them from anybody, all the way down to awful advice, or people just trolling them. Men, you cannot operate with any sort of efficiency, any sort of longevity, any sort of goal-oriented, successful life, and I mean successful in any way that you want to look at it. You cannot live out that life that you want to live, that you were designed to live, that your wife needs you to be, that your children need you to be, the leader that your community needs you to be, if you are seeking out advice from people that you don't know. It is imperative that while you are healthy, while you are in a good spot, while you can contribute to other people, that at that point you build relationships, that you get outside of your comfort zone if you're an introvert like myself, that you push yourself outside of that you crawl out of your shell, that you go speak to people, that you listen to people, that you build relationships and build rapport with good people, so that when you are going through difficulties, when you need advice, when you have some questions about what's going on in your life and how you can continue moving forward, you have somebody in your life that will listen. Now, I have not always been this way. I have not always had people in my life that I could speak to and that I was willing to listen to. I had to get uncomfortable. I had to put myself into positions where I didn't want to be. For my entire life, I've been the guy who was fine showing up 3 minutes late and leaving 5 minutes early, and sitting in the back row, the back couple rows, listening to what was said, but not fully engaging in building relationships and building rapport with other men. And it was a massive failure in my life. Since then, I've turned that around. I have people that I contact regularly to check in on. Why? So I can hear how they are, so I can listen to what's going on with them, because I know then in turn, when I have a struggle, when I need some prayer, when I'm fighting through, when I'm struggling, when I'm suffering, I have people that will listen to me. There's a massive part of me that feels bad for these guys. But there's also a massive part of me that understands that when you air your dirty laundry, when you spill your guts to a bunch of random strangers, the other thing you're doing is fishing for people that will just agree with you and will let you get away with the garbage in your life that you want to get away with. That they will offer you the solace and the excuse to keep on going and to continue living a life at half speed. Or half health, or half whatever it is that you think you should be striving for. So my encouragement, make a phone call, send an email, send a text message, start getting involved with other people now, today. Don't even wait till the end of this podcast. Put it on pause. Pull over to the side of the road. I don't care where you're at or what you're doing. Get serious about building relationships and building brotherhood with other solid, good men in your life. And yes, is it a risk to jump in to a relationship with somebody that you're hoping will be your friend, and then it doesn't turn out? Yeah. But you know what? You're a big boy. Deal with it. Move on to the next person, because there's other people out there that need you as much as you may 6 months from now, 2 weeks from now, or 2 years from now need them. And if you don't have somebody like that in your life, and you are in a difficult spot where you're just trying to get yourself out of a rut, you're trying to get some traction, you're trying to figure out where you are at in your life, where you want to go, and how in the world you're going to get from the rut or the hole that you're sitting in right now to where it is that you're dreaming about, or to be the husband and father and leader that you know that you want to be. You need to find somebody. Find your father, find an uncle, find a pastor, find a counselor, find a therapist, or find a coach. And this is precisely why I am coaching at this point. Because I know that there are men out there who need to be listened to. They need somebody that has a dog in the fight and wants to see them succeed, that's pulling for them and praying for them that they will overcome. So if that's you, if you need somebody in your corner, if you need somebody to listen, if you need somebody to work with you, and you don't have that person in your life right now, go to coaching, go to heroeswanted.us/coaching. There you can set up a strategy call with me. We can talk on Zoom for some time and help you work through the situation that you find yourself in. And then from there, if you want more coaching or a longer duration, we can have that conversation, but that's totally up to you. Find it very difficult to give advice to people that I don't know when I don't know the full story on Facebook or these other social media platforms. It's not fair to the person asking advice, and it's not fair to the people trying to dole out advice. Spend some time, invest in yourself, and work towards getting yourself to a point where you can continue moving forward. So with that rant out of the way, let's jump into this conversation with my man Nico. I think that you will enjoy this. We had a good conversation. The guy's been through a lot, learned a lot, and shared some valuable lessons. So let's jump right into it now. Hey, I want to welcome a first-time guest to Heroes Wanted, Nico with Win with Nico. This guy is a dynamic leader who has an awesome story to tell, and I'm excited to have him. Nico, why don't you jump in to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hey, Joe. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me around. Thanks for having me in the podcast. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity. And to jump right back on it, well, born and raised in Haiti, I can't say that my childhood was, one of those saddest stories. No, not really. In life, you always get, the low end, and then you get the high end. And I was right in the middle. Everything was okay, but we content with what we had. My father was in the armed forces of Haiti back then, before it was dismantled, and he did everything he could to give us food. Send us to school, have a house over our head. So we had everything we needed, the basic needs, right? And I graduated high school in 2003. I tested for the state university for medical school because I had to influence all the people around me, my principal, and the people that I knew. They were doctors. I'm like, you know what? I could be a doctor. But the thing is, I was better at math and physics, chemistry, all numbers, but not medicine. I didn't see myself being a doctor. Really, I didn't. But I'm like, I'm going to give it a shot. So I tested for all of this for the state university. We was the free university to go to. I didn't make it because they only take 100. They only take 100 people, 100, 120 people every year out of 3,000 applicants. So that was great. But for some reason, I applied for the private university for med school. They were taking 130, and I was 95 of them. I'm like, oh shoot, I made it. Who would have told me that? Okay, cool. 2 years later, my mom, who was living in France and moved to the States, and she's like, hey, I'm not going to pay the med school, man. It's expensive. But you come live with me. You can go to nursing school over here because nurses are making money over here. I'm like, no, why not? Shoot. 2 years later, two and a half, 2006, that's when I left Haiti. Man, I got to tell you, I cried. I see my father cry like a baby when I was living out. It was hilarious. I was laughing inside of me. I'm like, is he really crying like this? So that was one time when I got to the state. All the movies, high speed chasing. You see highways up and down. When I'm in the car, I'm in the passenger seat. I'm looking. I'm like, yo, This is crazy. I'm here. I can see it. I can see it on highways now. Man, I can't wait not to drive on it. But that was one thing. But back then, I never had a job yet. So my first job came in December 2006. I got a job working at well, actually, no, I take that back. October. It was a hospital, the Jackson Memorial now. I was housekeeping, picking up trash in the hospital. Man, I gotta tell you, ooh, man, this was ridiculous. Man, picking up biohazardous stuff from the hospital, I think it's it. 3 months in, my cousin said, "Nah, nope, you're not doing this job. I'm gonna hook you up with something else." So I went to work with the Department of the Juvenile Detention Centers in Florida. So that was a little bit more decent. But then again, I'm like 160 pounds, 5'8", 5'9". You got those 14-year-old kids in the detention center about 6 feet, 220. I'm like, I can't tell them what to do. You know what I'm saying? So that was the second job. I did that for a year and a half, and I'm like, the American culture started to grow on me, because I was living with my mom back then. I was paying rent, everything out of the car. She co-signed for me in the car, trying to give me credit, get me in the system, all that good stuff. But after a year and a half, I'm like, I need my independence, which I never had, by the way. Even living in Haiti, raised by my father, we were raised like girls. Like, I'm not kidding when I say we were raised like girls, because we couldn't go out to go hang out with our friends. We have to ask permission. Hey, can I go like 20 feet down from the house? Can I go play? Yeah, it was that crazy. I couldn't play basketball out in the streets. It was crazy. So when I know now, I can have my independence now. First thing I did, because I knew I wanted to have my citizenship. I wanted to get my education, and I started looking into what can I do? Where can I go to get, those advantages? Travel. I love to travel too. So my coworker back then, Chris Butler, I'm like, hey man, so what do you think I should do? He's like, well, you can join the military. I was in the army, but I'm not gonna tell you to join the army. Why you want to join? So I explained, and he told me, well, you got two choices, man. The Air Force or the Navy. And I can't swim. I'm like, definitely not the Navy. So, because I ain't going in there. So I chose the Air Force. And 14 years down the road, here I am. I mean, of course, the Air Force, I got a 14-year-long story with the Air Force. We'll dive into that in a little bit. But 2010, I had my daughter. I mean, she's the princess. She's she's the life, who I live for. Most of everything I do is for her. Well, I'll be sleeping right now. I'm talking about you. But that's pretty much it for me, man. Everything else, we can dive into it. That's my story in a nutshell. Who I was, where I came from, and where I'm right now. That's it, boss.
So going into the military is usually a bit of a culture shock for anybody, whether it's maybe a little less than the Air Force, but it's always a culture shock. It's a big change. But you had only been in the United States, a year and a half?
Yep.
When you joined the Air Force, what was that experience like, Nico? Because it had to be wild.
Man, I got to tell you, it was wild. Well, first thing, I joined a little older, 24. I was 24 when I joined. So there are some things that I've seen before in movies, and I'm like, okay, maybe let me see if what I used to see in movies are they real, Like you got the drill sergeant or Air Force, we call them a TI, training instructor. They yell at your face, all that stuff, saying all that kind of crazy. I'm like, okay, let me see. Because I was just there to observe. I'm like, okay. And by the way, at that time, my accent was heavy as like nobody's business, man. And so for you to understand what I'm saying, it'll take you a lot. Yeah, I have to say it like different ways. So I was pretty much quiet, introvert that I am. That was one other reason for me to just, hey, just stay cool, just watch, see what happens. Well, when I get in there, I got this 18-year-old man like insulting me, calling me. You know what? Back then, I didn't know what it was. But knowing what I know now, it was all racism, prejudice. But I didn't know anything. That didn't affect me at all. Until it does affect me, really. Like, oh, look at me. Nothing changed. But I tell you, when I got this 17, 18-year-old, 19-year-old telling me, hey, yelling at me, like, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that, whatever. I'm like, is it for real right now? And you got the TI, they do all type of crazy. I remember one night, man, I'm in basic training, we all sleeping. TI come in all drunk. He's drunk. Saturday night, he showed up about 2 or 3 in the morning, and they start flipping beds. Like, they start flipping everything in the dorm room. Like, we all gonna go crazy. Is this real? The culture over there about following authority, I didn't have a problem with that because my father was always like an authority figure for me. And that was one of the things who kind of struggled over the past year with our relationship. It was more of a fear type of a driven relationship, not fear/respect, but there was more fear for authority. And I didn't have a problem with that. T.I. yelling, screaming, I'm like, I'm used to this, man. Do something else, So that part, that didn't bother me at all. But it's the whole culture of, okay, now I'm in the military. Now something different is about to happen. Not the same. I'm going to have like a different structure on how I live, on what I should live by. It was a learning process. And basically, BMT, I thought it was going to be harder, honestly. But I'm like, I wasn't even as fit as I am right now, but I'm like, I ain't bad. Shoot, I thought it was going to be harder than that. But the BMT experience, it was great. It was great. I wouldn't mind doing it again. I mean, making the decision to join, one of the best things I've ever done. And I'll do it again, of course, especially around these days. See how things are going out there right now? So, yeah, man, that was it. Of course, there's more to this military culture, more that I've learned along the way, personally, professionally, and even the people I meet around the world.
So you said there were 3 things you were looking for, and the Air Force kind of checked the box on: citizenship, traveling, and education, right?
Yeah.
Were all 3 of those boxes checked? And what more came along with that you didn't expect?
Citizenship, the very first thing I wanted to do as soon as I get to I was talking to the recruiter and say, yes, you can get your citizenship, but you got to get to your first duty station first. That means you got to pass BMTs, all that good stuff. Cool. Pass. Once I got to my first duty station in Ohio, and that was the first thing I looked up. Okay, how can I get this done? Within 6 months, boom, done. Free. I didn't have to pay no 100 or whatever fee it was at that time. And the next thing was education. So the Air Force has its own community college. It's accredited regionally, so it actually can be useful on the outside. So, what's this? Okay. So, for each job you do in the Air Force, it is associated with the associate degree. I'm like, okay. So my first job was nutrition therapy, nutrition technician, diet technician, not registered diet therapy. But I'm like, okay, which a job I didn't want to do, by the way. But I came in open general. That was what's available. That's what they gave me. I'm like, whatever it is, what it is. I got to make the best out of it. So I learned how to cook. The Air Force taught me how to cook. And that was a great thing. Was that the only thing I knew how to do was white rice and probably fry some eggs. That's about it. That's all I knew I could do. I could do some spaghetti too. Yeah, I could do some spaghetti. But that's about it. Now I can throw down in the kitchen. I can make all type of stuff, and all thanks to the Air Force, because we had some great civilian cooks. They were great mentors when it comes to cooking. got that associate degree done, boom. But after 6.5 years in doing the same job over and over, it gets boring. Of course, the job had different section. I tried a couple of them, but some of them they didn't let me try. And again, now looking back, I'm like, this might have been because either the accent was too heavy, it was customer based. People, they might have think, oh, I'm not suited for that job. Again, that's me thinking maybe that's what it was. But you know what? I'm not there anymore. I ain't got to worry about all that. Gone. 2015, I retrained to another job, which is education and training management. So it is more customer based. Again, work with more people. It's more engaging, less hours, well, not less hours. I mean, typical hours, 8 to 4, 9 to 5, compared to the other job where I was working 3 on, 2 off. They call it Panama schedule. 3 on, 2 off, and you get every other weekend off, which was good whenever you take like a leave. If you take 2 days, it might end up being 5 days. But it was good. It has its pros and cons. So when I got to the new job, that's when I got transferred to Florida. I went to Egland, Florida, and everything changes. Everything changes. New perspective. I'm like, wow, I can do something with this actually. Training development, instructional system design. I mean, there's so much within the education and training management realm that I can expand on it. Leadership, of course, and okay, cool. Now I got this associate degree too done. All right, cool. But I started going online because I was in the medical field with the nutrition therapy, going to school for a bachelor. And I got to tell you, it wasn't for me. Because one day I woke up from a nap where I was doing homework. I woke up, I see like 10 pages of 1, 2 letters because my fingers were on the keyboard and I was passed out. I'm like, yeah, this is not for me. This is not for me. Education done. Now I'm more focused on skills-driven education, like certifications. Now I got a few of those. I'm still looking for other skills that I can learn and master that make myself more credible. Because I don't believe in a 4-year degree college now. Look, we live in 2021 right now. Most of the kids these days, 14, 15 years old, making millions. And they don't even have a high school degree, certificate yet. So, but by all means, people who do believe in the 4-year degree will get it. If it's something that you want to do, that's fine. Me personally, I don't believe in it. And then traveling, not only with the transfer or to all different places, but wherever I'm at, I always manage to make 2 or 3 trips. One overseas and several like local, or different states. I'm always somewhere. And just to name a few, we got French Guiana, Thailand. South Korea, when I was in assignment, it was short year, but when I was in South Korea, I took that opportunity to go to Thailand. When I went to French Guiana, stay at Guadeloupe for a few days, Panama, Peru, and this summer I wanted to go to Europe, and I'm like, I'm looking at my financials. I'm like, should I invest this or just go to the trip? And I'm debating. You know what? Investment that sounds good, but it's been a minute. I haven't been on a trip, because the last trip was 2019. I went to Panama with my friends, and I'm like, it's time for a trip. It's time we got to travel. I've done Vegas. I've done local. Man, it's not the same as overseas. Overseas, I like to explore the culture, blend in, go in, just like boot shorts, camouflage or whatever. Just be in there. Nothing fancy. I'm not trying to stay in the 5-star hotel. Nah, can I afford it? Yeah, probably. But then what? Say I travel and stay in a hotel, paying hundreds and thousands of dollars for what? Really, nothing. So I don't know. I might end up just staying in the States for this summer, but who knows? That's it. Like all these boxes of check and what else that comes that come off as a surplus. The relationships, man. The people I met. 2 other times in the several assignments, Till this day, I know I got great friends I can count on anytime. I can give them a call and they drop everything and help me out. That I cannot be thankful enough for it. That's for sure, because they are pretty much my family. Wherever I'm at, I always manage to have a few groups of people that I'm really connected with, because at that moment, that's what I have. And some of the members of my family, like a year ago after I came back from a deployment from Qatar, by the way, Qatar, I forgot Qatar, and I made a post on social media on Facebook saying that in life, the people you call family, they're not supposedly your blood related family. It's the people you meet along your journey wherever you're at, and the people that I've met throughout my journey so far in the military, they are my family. And some didn't like that post, man. Some they called my mom mad or whatever. My mom, man, hats off to her. She didn't even graduate high school. My mom, this was her. Okay, so you mad because he's saying these folks are his family? Okay, right now, if something happens to him, can you help him out? Right now, if he needs help, like right now, if he needs help, can you help him out? Okay, you can't, all right? So the people who with him right now, they're the ones he can count on. He can't even count on me right now. I can't do nothing. Of course, he can call them their family. And I was surprised. I was surprised by her response. And from that moment, I'm like, Mom, you the real G. You're the real G. Yeah, man. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, relationships are so important, especially for introverts like us, right, Nico?
Yeah, you got it.
And like you said, your mom has a different perspective of it. She knows you're her son. She knows that she's your family, but she let you go out. And, it's one thing when you live in a small area and you're always with your family and those units stay together, that's good. But when you go out, you got to build that network and those people around you. Otherwise, you get lost in the wind. And
definitely
lot of devastating consequences to trying to live life like that by yourself without finding the right people to put around you. So that's awesome. So, hearing your story about the Air Force and as a kid and come to the United States and stuff, three things kind of stick out to me, Nico.
What's up?
You got an awesome attitude. You got a great attitude about things, and you're flexible. So not only do you have a good attitude and you're easygoing and you kind of let things come to you, but you're flexible in that stuff. But what's really cool is you've taken the situations that you've been in and you leverage those situations for what you need or what you want. Just like that with, hey, I need family around me. These are good people. I have a lot in common with these people. You create that family where you're at. So as you've matured as you've matured in the Air Force and taken advantage or leverage that what they've been able to give you, I know that you've kind of branching out in a new direction. You're finding something new here outside of the Air Force too that you're creating with coaching. What does coaching mean to you, and why coaching?
Yeah, man, I gotta tell you, in 2015, one of my good friends from medical school in Haiti hit me up and showed me this opportunity. And this was MLM, network marketing. I didn't know what network marketing was. Started the presentation, like, oh, sounds good. Hey, I ain't asking any question. It's my friend. I'm like, hey, he's not gonna dupe me or anything, right? Good, sign me up. Boom, signed up. Boom. I went to my first seminar. I'm like, oh, this is great. All this motivation stuff, all this personal development. I mean, in the Air Force, we talk about personal development, and what I really didn't get really when it comes to personal development, because in the Air Force, they tell you, every year, do something to self-improve, but they only tell you that, or let me say that at that time when I was learning that I should do something to self-improve is for my APR, for my evaluation, annual evaluation, but not really for me. for me to grow, to be a different a person, a better person, better at communicating or leading, whatever the case was. But do something so we can put on paper, so you can look good on paper. That's all I know about personal development. But when I went to that seminar, and I'm listening to those leaders, listening to those successful people, they already made it to the top yet, and then they're trying to teach you, okay, how leadership and personal development work hand in hand, and how by focus on you first, being the best version of yourself. I don't like to use this term, but by you as changing your perspective, the way you live, learning new information, putting in application. Don't be just a distraction. Don't focus solely on entertainment, but bring value to this world. You can actually get success and live the life that you want. All right, this sounds good. All right, let me dig into this. That was a seminar, a 3-hour seminar. Now, the first convention, network marketing, every quarter or every year, 6 different, depending on the company, they got this convention. I went to one of those conventions. Man, I got to tell you, man, this was, I want to say life-changing. Life-changing, anybody could go through an experience. And it is only life-changing if you make something about it. Whatever you take from that experience, all right, you know what? I'm about to put this in application. Then it becomes an experience that you actually apply and it changed something in your life. But, which I did, by the way, so it was a life changer for me. Not only the success I've seen my friend, who at that time recruited me, and I seen him going up stage because he reached a certain level. I'm like, oh, this is good. I like recognition. I'm like, shit. If I can be up there like that, I see thousands of people like, oh, cheering me. You know what I'm saying? That'd be great. I've never had nobody cheering me on besides the girlfriends I've had. I ain't nobody cheering me on. Like I'm over here by myself working, or whenever I'm at work, nobody cheering me on. They're like, this is what you're supposed to do. So okay, you're doing it. So ain't nobody gonna say, oh, good job. I don't need a good job anyway. All I need is the recognition. Like you could put me up for awards. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I seen you've been killing lately, man. Won't you give me a few bullets, a few things that you've done, so I can put a package together and submit you up for this award. I don't even need to win. I just know that you know this. I just need to know that. So I'm like, this is great. All right, boom. What I need to do? All right, I sat down with the coach. Hey, this is what we're going to do. This is the game plan. Boom, 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 boom. We need to get this many people, but these people, they have to learn from the product we have. The product was personal development, leadership development, and financial education. Those are the 3 main areas of the company. Man, and the products, I still have these products right there. You can see them. And they are great, awesome. They have helped me a lot to grow professionally and personally. So when I started working with other people, other team members, especially this one case, I remember it was on a financial aspect. He had a car, I think he owed about $17,000 or $18,000 on it. And after a few months, we come up with a plan. If he sold the car back and get an older car, with no payment, just pay the cash, and within a certain amount, it would be wipe out all of his debts. A few months later, I got a call. Hey, man, look, I sold the car. I got this, that. Now I'm debt free. Look, appreciate you. I'm like, yo, this was like, I don't know what it was to me, but it made my day, made my week, my month that time, because I just want to know that I was part of your success, whatever it was. I mean, if it was a phone call, hey, you remember the last time we had a conversation? I got to tell you, man, it really helped me a lot. I went and did X, Y, and Z, and now look, I made the change that I needed. I'm in a different place. Whatever the case was, if I know I was a part of your success, that's my greatest fulfillment. So when I knew working with people, because my personality at first, I'm introvert, yes, but when I know we're working together towards outcome, it's different. I'm gonna say I'm a whole different person, but my attitude changed. My attitude is still the same, but it changed because now we have a purpose. Okay, we're working on this, and I'm here to help you out. Now, if you're willing to put in the work, we're gonna make it happen. And 20, 2017, I got married. I went to Korea. And then 2018, I got back. 2018, I filed for divorce, and it couldn't work out. 2019, divorce was final. And those 6 months from June 2019 to December 2019, it was like dark place. I call it dark, not like I was suicidal. Did I have suicidal thoughts? Yes, I did. But I know myself. I'm too lazy to do anything to hurt myself. I'm too lazy to do any of that. But the only thing I was doing, man, is I get up, go to the gym, go to work, come back home, eat dinner, or probably don't even eat dinner because I usually eat 2 meals, breakfast and lunch, and then come back home, turn on the TV from 5 to 6 until midnight until I fall asleep, probably sleep on the couch, wake up in the next morning, do it again for 6 months. That was all I did. Never go out, never did anything. Now, I was probably going through depression for all I know. Who knows? It's not like the divorce itself left a bad taste in me, not really, but it's just the way it happened. Knowing who I was, like I'm a man of my word, a man of character and integrity. It was a traditional thing, I went to her mom, asked for her hand. I mean, she's good people, and now I felt ashamed because she wanted something that I couldn't provide her, and I'm like, I'm not in a place where I can provide this to you right now, and it'll be a disservice if I keep you along and knowing that I'm not going to be able to give you something that you want dearly. So it's best for you to find that person that's going to give that to you. But right now, I can't, or I'm not willing to, because it was a decision that I made. I'm not doing that for you right now. I can't. And I felt ashamed. Like that was the main thing, shame. And I couldn't think about anything else. I'm like, how can you? I beat myself up every day. How can you do this, man? You talk about, being a better man, talk about all these characteristics, you got a creed, how could you do this? She didn't do anything to you. Every day for 6 months. And then, and this is sometime in December, I'm like, okay, now this gotta stop, because of course, December is about to come in, January, New Year's resolution. All right, we got to make a resolution right now. We don't have to wait for January 1st. Let's do it right now. And for a week or so, I think I took off for work. Like I need some space, man. I need to relax and reconnect. My main goal was to find out where was my happy place. And it went back to network marketing when I was working with people. How going to different houses, go meet other people, trying to make calls, go to seminars, driving 6-8 hours one way, and then go drive right back around, come back home, doing it. That journey, that thing with a community, I felt I missed the sense of community. I'm like, yes, I miss belonging with something, to something. I miss working with people. Because what can I do? And I started Googling, what can I do? What people who like to work with people, what can they do? And then I saw Coach, network marketing. I mean, my upline, he was a coach pretty much, really. Helping us working this stuff out. But now with the coaching, with life coaching or coaching industry, it's more personal. It's more personal. It's not like we have a team of thousands of people we're leading. No, it's more personal. It's one-on-one. It's group, intimate area where you can actually talk with people and walk them through whatever they're going through. Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Now, I want to be legit. I just don't want to be coming out there and say, hey, I'm a coach. No, I'm sure there's some type of skill. There's some type of, there's a process to this. So, I start looking up schools. I'm like, hey, this one got a good mission statement, vision statement, and they're recognized, although the coaching industry is not really regulated, but you have a certain entity, the ICF, that have they kind of govern this thing. They got rules of ethics. I'm like, okay, this sounds good. This good is recognized by them. Let's go with this one. So went to coaching school, kind of got the skills. Went to a lot of coaching, a lot of practice. I'm like, yeah, I like this. Yeah. Even to going to the school at the different scenarios and when I'm going to my sessions, you know, I keep it real, 100. I'm like, hey, look, even though this is a practice session, I want you to keep it real. But if you don't keep it real, nothing's gonna come out of it. I'm not gonna learn anything. You're not gonna learn anything. Keep it real. Until these days, with the other coaches that I work with, that they want practice or whatever, I'm like, all right, I'll give you practice. No, I'll be your practice a client, but you gotta keep it. I'm gonna keep it real with you, so that way you can help me out right here. Because shit, I'm going through some stuff too. You know what I'm saying? I might need some help. I'm human. You know what I'm saying? So when everything clicked, man, everything clicked is when I know I have to go back to work with people. Meaning, I need to find my meaning. Finding my meaning is okay, helping others, you know, get that thing that they want, get that achievement, or reach that level of happiness, or whatever that thing is. Because, and I can quote Brendan Burchard here: you can coach anybody. We can coach anybody. Doesn't matter their background. Doesn't matter your background. Doesn't matter what they want, what they need. You can coach them. But as a coach, let's just say a leadership coach. I don't have to be a leader. I'm a coach. I mean, do I need to know the principle of leadership? Yes, of course. But I don't need to be exec, you know, to coach leadership or executive leadership. Yeah. This once I find that piece to the puzzle, I'm like, yes, this is it. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna take it slow. And little did I know, I've been doing this at work, you know, for so long. I don't even know, you know, like unintentionally. That's what we do when we supervise, when we manage. Yes, the approach might be different, but it's pretty much what we do. And then once I find out what it would take, I'm like, all right, well, it is what it is. You know, let's take the leap. Boom. Now I had a sense of purpose, and I had a thing to focus on. I had a, you know, like I had a prize that I needed to keep my eyes on, and that's where coaching comes from. You know,
yeah, that's what I say often is so many men out there, especially, well, that's who this podcast is made for, but I'm sure it's women as well, are searching for a purpose, and they're looking high and low, and searching for that purpose devolves into a lot of bad direction. But your purpose will always be found in serving other people. And that purpose might not start out the way that you think it's going to. Like, what an awesome example. I love that, Nico, that all I hear from almost everybody is how bad MLMs are, right? Totally negative. Oh, they're just taking advantage, this and that, right? I hear so many negative things, but yet you went in there and took advantage, once again, leveraged what was given you as far as learning, accepting the knowledge that your upline was teaching you, and not just surface level, but putting that stuff into action in your life. Because if you don't you can hear all you want to hear. You can listen to all the audiobooks you want to listen to, all the podcasts you want to listen to. But until you start putting that stuff into action, it's just theory. It'd be like if we were just listening to math equations on an audiobook. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's, this is theory. I guess it works out. I don't have a pencil and paper with me. I'm driving, but I'm just going to have to take their word for it. And that's what you end up doing when you just listen to book after book after book after book, but don't start applying those things into your life. So to see the change in you once you started applying those things, and the light bulb that went off and going, man, I love the self-development stuff. But then it comes around full circle to once you start taking care of yourself and once you start seeing the changes that happen within you, it's like, man, I want to share this. I want other people to experience this, and I want to be a part of them experiencing it too, because it's a amazing thing to be talking to people and helping them to see things that they can't see. And we all have blind spots in our life. We all have those things that they're there, they're holding us back, or even like you were talking about when that dark period, it's that negative self-talk, man. You're telling yourself that story, and it's just driven into you constantly beating you up. And those are the places where a coach can just kind of start asking you a few questions that, once again, that light bulb starts getting a little brighter, and you start noticing, where those dark places are in your life, and start shedding some light into those dark closet corners that don't realize, and that's natural, man. We're all humans. We're trying to get through our daily tasks first, and sometimes we get so caught up in just surviving that we forget that there's another level there, and we can make things a little bit different, not only for ourselves, but once we start to have an act of service, man, we can really change things in a positive way and have a tremendous impact on other people.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I got to tell you, coaching is one thing. And the thing is, a lot of people out there are suffering. They're probably suffering in silence. I know I was suffering in silence. And even until like we're in end of April right now. April, yeah. Even 5 months ago, I was still suffering in silence until about 2 weeks ago. I had a coaching call with one of my coaches. Man, I broke down. Man. Like a baby. I broke down, teared up, crying, because you don't even know sometimes you don't even know what you're going through until you actually sit down and with someone that you're comfortable, that you can open up with, and then everything just fall off. I mean, I knew I have some stuff that I need to work on, and it's based on my relationship with my father. I know there's something that I need to fix with him. There's something I need to tell him that, as a grown man right now, as a father myself, I'm not really proud of the way things were and still going right now. And all I needed really was somebody to hear me out. And every day for the past 3 months, I've been telling myself I need to go to therapy. Because they offer the services on base. It's like, hey, I'm telling you, they offer the services. All I need to do is make a phone call, book an appointment. But every time, there's always something else that comes into that distracts me from it. And it just happened during that coaching session. And I had my eyes closed. We were going through the process. Like, all right, so what's happening? What's really under this surface? Nico, what's going on? What's holding you back from you reaching that next level? And then I just broke down, bro. Broke down. So anybody out there right now, you are suffering with something. If you feel like you're stuck somewhere, especially us fathers, because we were fathers. Because I was just watching a clip about a few minutes before we jump on, and Judge Judy was saying that all the other judges out there, POs, whatever, y'all need to stop treating fathers like second-class citizens. No, they have as much right as the mothers. So us fathers, we probably are going through a lot right now, and not even realizing it, thinking it's okay, or because we're supposed to be the strength of the family. And we're going through some stuff too. We need some help. We need somebody listening to us too. So if you're going through something right now, the thing is, if you can find that one person that you can open up to, or if you have the opportunity or the capability to go to a therapy and get the help you need, walk through those processes, process those emotions. You feel like 1,000 pounds lifted off your shoulder, and which is exactly what I told my coach. She's like, hey, how you feeling? I'm like, man, I feel like I had that 2,000 pound squat ball on my back, and I need to squat it, and I don't like squatting heavy, but this wasn't good for me. But after that session, it was good, man. It was good. And I was in a different place, a different space too, like lighthearted. You know what? Now I can. I felt I had more clarity. For example, I don't know how, but this is how I felt at that moment. Yeah, coaching is very powerful if you do have a good coach, though.
Yeah, that's awesome. So. What are the plans? Are you going to stay in the Air Force, or what are your plans moving forward? And what are your plans with Nico as you kind of take on this this new way of serving. You know, it's one thing you're serving in the military, you're a man of service and a man with, you know, a higher purpose there in the Air Force and serving out a creed in your life there. And I think it's awesome that you're taking what you've learned there in the Air Force as far as leadership, and at the same time, what you've learned just in life, man. We're always learning if we allow ourselves to be learning. But as you move into what are you thinking going forward with Win with Nico and the Air Force?
Well, you know, like we were talking earlier, I have 6 more years if I want to do the full 20, you know, get the retirement. Now, here's the thing. This is my dilemma right now. It's like, okay, you know, I'll be dumb not to finish the whole 20 years and get that retirement paycheck. Now, yes, that's good. From one perspective, yes, you know, the conservative, the person that's safe, you know, want to keep things safe. That's what they would say. From another perspective, the entrepreneur say, man, why not work your butt off? Start earning 6 figures in the next couple of years. You know, once your contract up. And then if you start earning 6 figures, you know, that's more than enough to cover your lifestyle. I'm a minimalist. I don't do extra besides my traveling. I don't buy fancy stuff. No need. Look, I just sold a car I was driving 15 years ago. I just sold it. You know, the only reason I sold it is because I'm moving. So I can't move with 2 cars, you know, and I don't want to ship a car that's worth $3,000, $4,000 to ship to get down there. You know, I'm like, nah. I just sell it and give it away to one of those brand new airmen who doesn't have a car. I'm like, hey man, get you a little buggy, man, so you can ride around. And so I it's a Toyota, us Asian. We love our Toyotas, man. Toyota Camry, that's the way to go. 15 years, I just got another one. I'm gonna hold it again for another 10, 15 years. That's how we do it. So I don't do fancy stuff, man. Minimalist with 6 figures. I can easily say, you know what, Air Force, I do love you, yes, but I'm going through a different direction, better direction. And with that being said, trying to scale up, help more people out, because it's all about helping more people. The more people I can help, the more fathers I can help. You know, again, the clarity that they need in order to be the man of substance, to change everything around them and be the better father they need to be for their child, for their family in general. The more I'm gonna earn. It's just natural. That's how it is. More people you have, more money you get. Plain and simple. And that way too, I can live the lifestyle I want. You know, I can travel more often. You know, still be on a computer and still help out others. And right now, coaching, the Air Force has Air Force coaching culture, which I'm a part of as a certified coach. I coach 2 clients every 6 weeks. It's for free, but also, look, I don't care about the money right now. I'm helping this young airman out. Right now, they're just young airmen. I'm helping them out, you know, figure things out, whatever the case is. And I'm happy about that. You know what I'm saying? Win with Nico, definitely this is my ticket to freedom. Freedom, time freedom. You know, when I say freedom, I'm talking time freedom. But everybody wants time. We have a lot to do, but we don't have time to do it all because we have responsibilities. We have, you know, jobs. But if you don't have a job, you know, you have an occupation that you love, it's not a job anymore because, you know, you're doing it anyway, you love doing it, but you can do it whenever you want. That makes a whole difference. So that's the dilemma. But if you ask the entrepreneur, of course, 2 years, 6 figures, then we out. We out in this. Bye. But if you ask a conservative, man, you know what? We are content. I'm not gonna lie. I'm content. I can stay here, not doing anything. Just go to work, gym, keep myself, you know, healthy. You know, take care of my baby girl, and do my 20. I'll be good. And of course, with my experience and my credentials, I can most likely. I know civilian sector is pretty hard, but I'm sure I can find a job where I'm still earning 70, 80, you know, even 6 figures with my experience and my credentials. That's the conservative way to go. But when I'm done, I don't want to wake up 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm a sleeper. I'm lazy too. Like sometimes I just don't want to. I want to wake up and not do anything at all. I want to be able to chill. You know? Yeah. While my daughter go to school, yeah, I can just sleep, work out, come back. All right. Let's. Well, who we coaching today? You know what we working on? Oh, okay, cool. Let's set that up. Boom, 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 boom. Action plan. You know, this is the type of lifestyle I want to live. But then again, some people could say, "Oh, you're not being realistic." Why not? Should I just live my life with my hopes down, my hopes up? Nah, man, we don't live life this way. So
I know that your main target with your coaching is fathers. Why fathers, Nico?
I'm a father, man. I'm a father. I'm a single father. What let me think about it. I'm a single father. Raising a daughter can be tough. That means you got to be emotionally available, emotionally flexible. To handle those little preteen tantrums. So she's 11, about to be 12 in about 3 weeks. So yeah, single fathers. We're going through a lot. We have to care for ourselves. Even if we can't take care of ourselves, we can take care of our children. You got to provide for the family, so that means you got to have something coming in. You got to have an occupation. You got to have something you're doing to earn some extra change. You have to be mentally and physically fit, so that way you can keep up. And I say keep up, you don't have to go running around with them, but go on a bike ride, for example. That's something we do once in a while. We're going on a bike ride in the neighborhood. Cool, have a good time. Go to the park or go to the trampoline. Man, I remember like a few months ago, we went to the trampoline park. I jumped a couple times, like, nah, I'm too away. My bag. I'm like, nah. So, you got to be physically fit. And then, of course, financially fit. How are you setting yourself and your kids up for the future? What are you teaching them? Like, my daughter right now, she's an artist. She likes to paint, right? So I got her this little studio right there in the house where she got a little setup, LED light, all of her paintings. I buy a canvas. Now, a few months ago, she's like, "Hey, Dad, people are asking me about my painting or whatever. I'm gonna start selling them. $2." I'm like, $2, but baby girl, listen, I need to teach you something about business, okay? Let me tell you something. We bought the canvas X amount, right? We got to buy paint, right? And then you got to get paid for your labor because you took the time to sit there and paint this stuff. So, baby girl, you got to charge them like at least $5. No, I know we ain't trying to, hustle nobody, but $5 per painting. Years ago, I bought some bigger paintings. They were $3, and she had to paint the Gryffindor hat from Harry Potter, right, for one of the teachers. She did it. I'm like, okay, how much you gonna charge for that? She's like, $5. No, baby. This is a bigger canvas. No, listen, we're gonna charge $10. Okay. Now, if it's a kid, they don't have $10. Cool, we're gonna do $5. But it's a teacher. Nah, she can afford $10. All right, we're gonna do $10. And what are you gonna do with the $10? Oh, I'm gonna buy this one. Now I'm gonna teach you something about money now. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna save $5. The other $5, yeah, you can get your little something. Go to the BX, go to the little shop, get your little something, because you earn it. All right, but we're gonna start this way. For every penny that you sell, we're gonna save this much, and then you can enjoy this much. All right, cool. I'm gonna get your little green card so we can load up this money on there, so you don't go out there and go spend it all. Yeah, she was happy, and look, I'm happy. The fact that she's doing that, I'm like, oh shoot, I got a little business going on over here. She likes painting. I'm like, okay, I support you, baby. What you like, I support you. So us fathers, we have to be able to know the basics. You don't have to be no financial advisors, and I'm no financial advisor. All this information is out there on the internet. Buy books. There are plenty of programs out there. Shoot, well, I know I got my own program too that I was following from the network marketing. I still got this information here that I still follow myself. Right now, if I stay in the corporate world, by the time of retirement, I have my millions. I live a comfortable lifestyle. I don't even have to invest anymore. But I know I don't want to wait till 65. I don't. So I'm accelerating the process. So us fathers, we have a duty to teach our children, okay, the basics, the fundamentals, and break that cycle of being deadbeat dads, especially us Black fathers. We always have this. We got this stigma on us that we got 10,000 baby mamas, 10,000 kids over there, whatever the case is. We need to break the cycle, and that's what I'm here to help you to help them to do. Break that cycle of deadbeat dads. By mastering those three elements we're talking about: mental fitness, physical fitness, and financial fitness.
That's powerful, dude. It's not that it doesn't take effort, but it's also not that it's hard. It's just being involved and listening and being there. And man, that's powerful, Nico. I love it. I mean, that's why I'm coaching the same niche like that with fathers, because man, it is not an easy job. And there's a lot of good men out there who are believing the lie that they're telling themselves. And the lie is that nobody cares, that nobody understands, that nobody will listen, that what they're going through doesn't matter, that they just need to grit their teeth and go through it, that they just need to grin and bear it, that this is what it's like to be a man and this is what it's like to be a father. And stop telling yourself the lies, stop believing the lies, and find a different path, because being a father can be the most rewarding and most beautiful thing in your life, but you've got to invest yourself into it, and you've got to it's mindset. It's the way we look at things. It's the way we approach things. It's the way that we carry ourselves, and the way we allow ourselves to be invested, not just on a surface level, but emotionally. And a lot of guys are trying to carry all this emotional baggage inside of them instead of letting it out to their family, letting it out in the situation, and being real, man. Our emotions are just a part of who we are. Do we need to control them? Do we need to make sure we're not having outbursts to the point where we're hurting people? Yes, of course, but at the same time, it's not something that we need to hide. And I see a lot of good dudes out there are just hurting because they're beating themselves up.
Yeah, you're right. They are. And it's crazy, man. And the support is there for them. Yeah. It's a lot of times, our pride take over. Our ego, won't let us do that. Man, I gotta tell you, man, I left my ego out the door. The day I started lifting. I seen guys out there in the gym, trying to ego lift, but I'm like, hurt yourself, man. That's the point. You want to be strong? Yeah, walk your way up there. Look, I'm 37, about to be 38 in July. I go to the gym just to look good. And I tell all of my homies that, like, listen, I ain't trying to be no Hercules in there. I'm just trying to look good. I'm trying to stay healthy. When I put a shirt on, like, okay, I like this. That's all. I ain't trying to do nothing else. Look, I might go up, get a little bit of weight up just to keep the body tight. But I'm not trying to do none of that. Of course, everybody has different goals, but your ego can block you from so many blessings, man. So many open doors. Your ego can shut all that stuff down. Earlier, we're talking about that negative self-talk. For each, and I read this from Think and Grow Rich, for each negative thought, man, you have to put like at least 10, I'm probably exaggerating, probably 10 positive thoughts in just to cover that one negative thought. So, being positive can only take you so far mentally, but also you gotta put up. It's like put up or shut up, pretty much,
And I see a lot of fathers too, just like you're saying, man. The ego pushes to buy the bigger Christmas presents, or buy more gifts, or more sports, or more this and more that. But the only thing that there's not more of ever is their time or them and a piece of them.
Yeah.
And that's what kids want more than anything else, is that piece of that dad in their life, to understand him, to feel him, to get him to be like him, you know? And if we're not carrying ourselves in a way that's worthy of emulation, of worthy of somebody wanting to be like us, and if they want to be like us, that actually contributing to society and making things better for people, then man, we're really missing out on a huge calling and an important opportunity.
Definitely. I can't stress this enough, man. It's bigger than ourselves. It's bigger than ourselves. And the thing is, it's nothing new, man. It's nothing new. Things that we hear, we see all the time, especially these days, because we are supposed to be in the information era. Information is all over the place. You go on Google, you type whatever it is, boom, it's gonna come up. You got it. Now the thing is, okay, well, what you gonna do with it? It's just like when I first started in network marketing, right? And the development plan for each team member is to read 10 pages of a book a day. No matter what, 10 pages of a day. Find a way to put in your schedule to read a day. Listen to 3 CDs a day, motivational, training, whatever it is, something positive, business, finance, whatever. Listen to 3 CDs a day, 10 pages a day. That's on the personal development side. Of course, now on the business side, it's okay. Like they tell you to show a plan once, like 3 times a week. For a plan, at least 15 times for the whole month. So that was the plan, and it was a successful plan. If you are consistent in it, you're gonna find a result. It's the law of averages. I mean, I'm not gonna get into this, but yeah. So 10 pages a day. I used to drown books. I used to go 3-4 books a month until I realized, yes, I'm gonna read this book, but half of the time I don't even apply any of these books. I noticed that. Yeah, I read. I know all the good stuff, like How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, one of the best ones of all time, right? I think I read this book 5 times, 3 or 4 times, 3 to 5 times. But every time I do is because, okay, look, I remember this principle, what it was again. I went back and I paused. I tried to think of a situation where I was, how I reacted against this principle. I'm like, ooh, all right, so why are we going to do this next time? I think of situation that I usually put myself into or get into. Okay, this is the way to it. Okay, good, got it, boom, done. So whenever I'm reading a book now, I'm not rushing through it. I take my time so I can instill this principle, so I can apply this principle. Because if I'm reading 10 books, 15 books a year, and out of these books, I can retain some information, but I can't really apply anything. There's not much change that's going to happen, because the goal is to be a transformational reader, not an informational reader. You don't want to read just for to get information. Information is there already. Now you want to read, you get the information, then you go apply it to get the transformation that you need. That should be the goal. Unless you're one of those entertainment readers, just read novels or whatever. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Just understand, it's a pastime. It's a time that you're wasting. It's entertainment. The same time I can be laid on the couch, put my feet up, and watch a Netflix show. That's entertainment. That's a wasted time. I'm not saying it's wrong not to do it. I do it. I chill out sometimes. Like sometimes you need it. Relax, nothing else. Boom. Hey, let me watch a couple episodes. Fall asleep. Usually I fall asleep anyway, because I'm tired. But I get 1 or 2 in there. Boom, done. All right, cool. You have to understand it's what it is. It's entertainment. Don't complain. I remember one of my earliest episode of my podcast. It's comfort versus growth. That's what it's called. And me and my homie at the time, we were talking about we're not against people who wants to take the conservative route, the safest route. You want to reach the American dream, own a house, have a family, have a decent job, just hanging out on the porch, watching the kids play. Cool. Is that what you want to do for 65 years? No problem. But don't complain about, how your life sucks, or how you don't have this much, you don't have this high-paying job, or you don't have this much money, you can travel. Don't complain about it, because you chose that life. The same thing for entrepreneurship. You go in for business. All right, man, business is hard. What you think this is? Like, oh man, I'm not cut out for this. Well, you already quitting already. You're complaining. The entrepreneurship route. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but that's life, man. That is how the weak are filtered out, and that is how life has been since creation. The weak are filtered out, whether it be like the medical field or professional sports or the elite special forces. The weak are weeded out, and that is the price of admission. Is continuing through when it sucks, continuing through when it's tough, putting your head down or reading a book or asking some questions or reaching out to the right people, or just sometimes continuing forward without a fear of failing and embracing those failures and learning from them. But that is the price of admission. If you want to be excellent, if you want to be great at, whether it be great at being a husband or great at being a father or great at being a leader or great at being an owner of a landscaping business, it does not matter. There will always be those things in life that are trying to weed you out of the system. And it's only going to be by your choice that you continue moving forward. And sometimes you got to veer to the right around that obstacle. Sometimes you're going to veer to the left. Sometimes you're going to go under. Sometimes you're going to go over. But you got to keep moving forward. Stopping is death.
Oh, yeah. The worst thing, the worst thing that it is done failure is not trying at all. So if you start like, it's too much, okay, that's it. It's over. It's over. It's over. We can talk about this all day long.
You're right.
It's common sense, or you would say it's just the principles. We don't have a lot of principle-driven people anymore. They are more about the outcome, and they just want the outcome right away. Instant gratification. That's what they want. Don't get me wrong. Shoot, I want it now too. I want it now. Shoot, give me that six-figure salary right now. I want it now. But it's not that easy. It's not that easy. You gotta put up the work. Gotta master that craft. Shoot, it's been 7 years since I'm into the personal field. The personal development field. Like learning, reading, all that good stuff. And I still haven't reached my 10,000 hours yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it ain't happening over time yet. Even if I do reach it, I'm not even gonna know. I'm still gonna think that I need to learn more. I need to do more. I need to be more. Hence, be, do, have. You have to be more to go do more in order to have more.
Yeah. And be willing. And it's the same whether you're talking about money, Nico, or whether you're talking about relationships or whatever, wherever you're at your weak point right now, whether it's friends or whether it's having fun in your life and giving yourself some time to have fun, or whether it's finances or whether it's faith or whether it's your family, all these different things, you have to be willing to invest the time and energy into it to the point of feeling uncomfortable in order to go to where you want to go, in order to reach a level that takes effort. Yeah, you can chill out down here all you want and take it easy and have that average life or that mediocre life, if that's where you're content. But I challenge people to not be content with that, especially in your relationships with your kids, your relationships with your family, all that stuff. Man, they're more valuable than you just given that small amount. Go all in. That's my challenge.
Yeah, yeah. I've struggled with this too for the longest.
Oh,
Like going all in, I didn't even know what that means. Going all in. I don't know what it means. Um, I can't remember how many challenges I got. My coaches I put me through. Like, I'm challenging you with this. All right, cool. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. All right. Going all in, it's just more than just saying going all in. It's so much more. It's like putting yourself in a situation that there are no other options. Now that's a big mindset shift right there. If you're content with your situation, you got a job, whatever it is, you're good, can't complain. But deep down, you want more, you can do more. It's gonna be very hard for someone really to be like, all right, I'm gonna forget about the day job. I forget I got it. This is it. No other option. It's a big mindset shift. A lot of work needs to happen. But yeah, definitely, if you want to get that next level of success, next level of growth or development, you got to be in it to win it. Yeah, man. Yeah. Couldn't say it any better.
hey, as we wrap up here, Nico, why don't you tell people how they can find you, where they can follow you, how they can get in touch with you, all that good stuff.
Yeah, for sure, man. Win with Nico on all the platforms. Well, not all of them. Facebook, Instagram, Win with Nico. You can find it. Google Win with Nico. You'll see me on there as well. Just reach out, man. Reach out if you need a helping hand on mental toughness, financial fitness. Now, and do a quick disclaimer: I'm not a financial advisor by any means. Just helping you building the foundations, for your finances and your kids' finances, your family, and your physical fitness. Also, well, I was a certified fitness trainer, but it's not my main thing. But I still use the same principles. Still, I keep things light, nothing extra. All the scientific going over extra. Oh, you got to control this, control calories. Nope, I keep it light where I can still enjoy the food I eat and still like the way I look. So simple stuff, easy to track, easy to maneuver. Win with Nico on Facebook, Win with Nico on Instagram. Those are my two main platforms. Or the Win with Nico podcast on all the major platforms: Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. So many more. I don't know. So many more. But those are the main ones. Anyway, the Win with Nico podcast and Win with Nico on Facebook and Instagram. Definitely reach out.
Nico, awesome. Thanks, man. I really appreciate you coming and hanging out with me for a little bit here on Heroes Wanted. Hear your story and hear your purpose, your mission that you're these people you're serving, and that's awesome. I'm real happy to have had this opportunity. So if there's anything you need ever, reach out, my man. We're in this together, and we'll be in touch for sure.
Oh, definitely. Appreciate the opportunity. Thanks again, man. Good luck, and hopefully we can do this again.
You know it. Sounds real good. Thanks, Nico.
All right, boss. Appreciate you. Got it.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. You can go find Nico on Facebook. Let him know that you heard him on Heroes Wanted. If you're looking for coaching, contact him. Find somebody. We talked about it early on in this podcast. You need people in your life that will listen, that will be a part of what you have going on, that have a dog in the fight and want to see you succeed and overcome, that are invested into you. Look him up, or again, go to heroeswanted.us/coaching. From there, you can find a link with my book, with some other deals I have going on with the book, along with the audio version of the book and some courses and different things that I have going on. You can find it right there. As always, men, hold fast. God bless.